Bonjour, je m'appelle Jyotika, your French instructor, and in this video I'll explain you all about the professions, les professions. There are different kind of professions like doctor, teacher, singer, etc. To make the professions from masculine to feminine, there are different kind of rules which I'll explain you simultaneously. First profession is advocate, which is pronounced as avocat in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as avocat. So first rule is we generally add an extra e at the end of feminine form. Next profession is shopkeeper, which is pronounced as commerçant in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as commerçante. Next is electrician, which is pronounced as electricien in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as electricienne. Rule number 2 is when the profession ends with en in the masculine form, then we add an extra ne in the feminine form. Next profession is musician, which is pronounced as musicien, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as musicienne. Next is mechanic, which is pronounced as mécanicien in masculine and mécanicienne in feminine. Next is actor, which is pronounced as acteur in masculine form, and in feminine actrice. So rule number 3 is when the profession ends with ter in the masculine form, then we write rice, rice in the feminine form. Next profession is director, which is pronounced as directeur in the masculine form and directrice in the feminine form. Next profession is businessman, which is pronounced as homme d'affaires. Next profession is housewife, which is pronounced as femme au foyer. Postman, which is pronounced as facteur in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as factrice. Next is school teacher, which is pronounced as instituteur in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as institutrice. Next is hairdresser, which is pronounced as coiffeur in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as coiffeurs. So rule number 4 is when the profession ends with eur in the masculine form, then we write eusc at the end of feminine form. There are two different rules when it is ending with teur in the masculine form, then we write rice, rice in the feminine form. Okay. Next profession is waiter, which is pronounced as server in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as servers. Next is dancer, which is pronounced as danseur, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as danseurs. Next is singer, which is pronounced as chanteur, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as chanteurs. This is an exception, as you would have seen that it is ending with ter in the masculine form, and in the feminine we have written eusc. Exception means it is different. Next is vendor, which is pronounced as wander, and in the feminine it is pronounced as wanders. Next is butcher in English, which is pronounced as boucher, and in the feminine it is pronounced as boucher. Cook is pronounced as cuisinier, in the masculine form, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as cuisinière. Nurse, it is pronounced as infirmier, and in the feminine form it is pronounced as infirmière. Some professions are same in both masculine and feminine form. Doctor is pronounced as médecin in French. Pilot is pronounced as pilote in French. Professor is pronounced as professeur in French. This is the end of the video. If you liked my video, please share, comment and subscribe. And if you have any doubts, you can write it in the chat box.